Hey everybody, Ian Campbell here with Mission Suite. This is day 4 of my Facebook Live challenge to myself. I am now a fifth of the way through. Whoopee to me. Excuse me, this is a late one and I apologize for that, but it's just been a long day. So today I'm going to be talking about the challenge of CRM adoption. This is actually something that I've thought quite a bit about, and it's one of those things that as I talk to more and more people, I've been realizing that we really need to address this as an industry. Not necessarily the sales industry or the sales teams or whatever. I mean, the sales leaders and business owners and whatnot understand all too well how much of an issue CRM adoption can be. But really, what we need to do is from our side, from the CRM side, we need to address this challenge. Because you hear this from sales leaders all the time, that their sales teams don't want to use a CRM. They don't want to be data entry people. They don't want to have to keep putting people into the system and going in and manually updating things, and it takes too long and it's too much of a pain in the rear. All these different things that I hear on a regular basis from sales leaders all over the country, and they're not wrong. And that's something that we really do have to address. That's something that we really do have to acknowledge, because until we do, the problem's never going to go away. And because I never hear anybody talking about this, but for the clients, I figured I'll start talking about it now. So if the general idea is that if no one's using the system, no one's using your CRM, it doesn't matter if you're paying $150 per user per month, or if you're paying $30 per month for the whole 9 yards. Whatever it is, it's a waste of money, right? If no one's using it, you're not getting anything out of it. So, we really, again, we have to address this head on. So, figured today what I would talk about. I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been talking about it with some clients over the course of the past few weeks. So I figured today I'd talk a little bit about some of the things that we need to do to make sure that CRMs can be adopted by the people that are using them. First of all, they need to be easy, right? So it can't be, our system, for example, Mission Suite, does a lot of things, right? But not everybody needs all the things that it does. So boiling it down and making sure that each user only has access to the information, the tools, and the different platforms inside of that, the different features inside of that platform to get the job done that they need to get done is really important, right? If you're just dealing with a salesperson, they don't need email marketing capabilities. They don't need website development capabilities. They don't need these things, right? So don't clutter their view with it. Don't make it a part of it, right? Make it as easy as possible to just, for a salesperson, add a contact, add a task, complete a task, to manage the pipeline, all that stuff, right? Ease of use is hugely important because, again, I've been a sales guy for a long time. I didn't get into this to do data entry, right? I got into this to sell because I wanted to go out and make connections, meet people, things like that, right? So keep it easy, keep it simple. The next thing is that it needs to be customized, or at the very least customizable, right? If you're dealing with a system that only allows you to add in a specific number of custom fields, or doesn't allow you to change the layout of the contact record, things like that, that gets to be kind of a bit of a pain, because if I can't adjust the contact records layout to be specific to the way that my sales team needs to use it, as a sales leader, it's going to drive me nuts, because my people aren't going to use it. They're not going to fill in the information that I want them to fill in, right? So I want them to be able to see where the contact details are, where the questions that you need to ask during your first meeting, the questions that you need to ask during your second meeting are, right? I want this to be as simple, as replicable as possible, because it's going to be, because ultimately speaking, I don't want to have to, it can be a training tool, right? I don't want to have to go in and re-educate everybody over and over and over again every time that I have to go in and hire a new salesperson, do that. I don't want if they know exactly what questions they need to ask, that cuts my training time down hugely, right? Because I don't have to tell them, because it's all in there and everybody's getting the same information. Everyone's doing the same thing, right? Increases my closing rates, increases everything, makes the whole process a lot smoother. Shortens closing time because you're able to get the information in there and you're not going back to the source over and over and over again. But none of that can happen unless it's customizable. You need to have the fields that you need in the system, as many of them as you want. I've got clients that have upwards of 175, 200 custom fields that are in their system, and I wouldn't do that, but you know what? They have a 5, 6, 7 step sales process, and each step of their sales process has a certain set of questions that they need to ask. So making sure that it's customizable to be for your business is hugely important, because that's going to increase adoption, and it's going to make it easier, going back to the first point, to do so. And lastly, it needs to be proactive. And this is something that I love about our system, is that I was able to set up systems, to set up follow-up systems for when I talk to a gatekeeper, when I leave a voicemail, for when I speak to a decision maker who wants more information, when I meet someone networking, anything like that. All those different things. I have systems set up in place for that, so that it's proactively telling me what I need to do, when I need to do it. And on top of that, it's also sending out emails on my behalf, so that I don't have to go in and write up a new email and then mark it complete, right? It's, if I meet someone networking, I tag them as having met them networking. An email goes out. A few days later, I get a reminder to make a phone call. I go in and do that. I mark it complete. A few days after that, I get a reminder for something else, right? So it walks me through my predefined sales process, but it does it proactively for me. So again, I don't have to go in and figure out, well, do I want to call this person, in 2 days or in 3 days or maybe in 5 days, because, we didn't. No. Develop a process, build it, stick to it, right? I mean, that's the kind of the essence of sales. And so now if you have a proactive system, it actually goes out and does all this stuff for you. If I talk to a gatekeeper, they give me the decision maker's contact information. It automatically sends out an email saying, hey, I just spoke to your associate. They said that you'd be the best person to talk to. Let's have a conversation, right? One step of the process. So there's a number of things that do that. And then especially if you're a sales leader and you have salespeople who are in there, who are working in the system, and maybe they're a little skeptical about whether or not their CRM is going to actually be useful, or whether or not I want to try it, whether or not I want to use it. But if you have those proactive measures in there, and they start seeing all of a sudden emails coming back to them saying, hey, I'd love to get together, or yeah, let's schedule coffee for Tuesday at 10 o'clock, right? Those types of things make adoption a lot faster, because now all of a sudden, me as a skeptical sales guy is looking at it and saying, oh, okay, this thing is actually working for me, and I'm not actually being forced to work for it. So all those things make adoption a whole lot easier. And these are things that I'm proud to say that Mission Suite does really, really well. If your CRM is not doing those things, or if you don't have those things set up, or you don't feel like those three things are there for you with your CRM, then start looking around, right? I mean, whether you're in a contract or not, start asking questions, start talking to other people, and start looking at other systems, because there are other systems out there that do so, right? So anyway, that's it for me for today. Like, comment, share down in the comments, and spread the word here. I'm going to keep doing this. Like I said, it's day 4 out of 20, so I'm going to be around for at least the next 16 business days. So with that, I'm going to bid you adieu and good night, and I hope you all have a good one. Cheers.